What episode is this? My phone is recording.
I think it's just because last week I was in a completely different mindset. I think this is episode. While looking at my phone, I'm like, I think it's 14. Let's see.
Do you label them?
I do. Because Michael gets mad because he's like, the small ones don't count, do they? I'm like, they do, Michael. We're on episode 11.
Episode 11.
Woo.
Woo. Stevie Z, Joel, Babe, Amanda. How's it going?
It's going good.
Nice.
We've learned that we had to really quiet our minds this last week and this week because we had to focus on our first jug event.
That I missed. I'm very sad about. How was it?
Go for it, Joel. You speak on this one.
I don't even know where to begin.
It looked pretty cool.
It was ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In which way? Like, what's ideal?
Everybody wanted to be there.
That's epic.
You guys didn't promote it that well, so everyone that was there definitely wanted to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I forgot about it. And
we posted it a bunch.
But on our jug page,
the worst.
all of our friends, the repost to repost,
that worked
where it went pretty like everyone would repost it, and then it would be like from the jug page. We saw it reposted a lot of times.
It was a prime spot.
Yes.
Because like Santa has always been on the up and up, but then to get an alleyway in Santa on one of the main streets, I think that's pretty badass.
I think we were robbed.
Why is that?
Because it was 4th of July week, so people had been partying since like last Sunday.
Yeah.
Like Monday and Tuesday was the weekend.
Poor planning on the jug.
I know, yeah. I thought it'd be Art Walk weekend.
Yeah.
But Art Walk weekend was the previous Saturday.
Oh, even worse.
So that would have been ideal if we had done it the previous Saturday.
Then you got the foot traffic.
Yeah, it would have been stupid.
Yeah, and then you guys got that hilarious sign.
We would have gotten in trouble though, so.
Yeah, you guys got that.
Too crazy.
You guys got that hilarious sign that says like beer and wine here, or something like that. Yeah.
It was, but I will say like the all the stuff we got from it. Every time we host something, we always learn something new about what someone likes about something we're doing, and so. You know, we definitely...
Real-time feedback.
God, the feedback... Like, the first one was, everyone that showed up wanted to be there. So, like you said, if it was the other way, we're just a bunch of random people, it would have been a little bit... I think it would have been too crazy, like Joel said. But seeing everyone be there, being excited to just be there, and being able to put on everyone for what they wanted to do, seemed to be the... Like, what is it? Good grassroots of, like, our brand stuff, like, language-wise. And, I don't know, seeing people show up for each DJ locally, you know? Because everyone's just, like, barely starting into their world or life of Jug World stuff, you know, in looking, I guess, at us to host something, you know?
And it's pretty interesting because you guys are bringing it back to, like, actually bringing is vinyl the right word? The record. Like, you guys are actually bringing... the physical record and moving the pin, so that's like a whole different aspect.
It's been back. It's just that it's something you can't deny.
Yeah,
it's like a amenity.
Yeah, it's just
it doesn't matter who's there, because if you're putting the needle on the record, then you're working.
Yeah, there's more effort that goes into it rather than just today's age where you just like organize some songs or rip off an already organized playlist. Yeah, that's always been an interest. The first time I saw it in a public setting might have been Mission Bar. That was like the first time I was like, oh, someone's actually putting records on a record player and playing that. That's pretty cool.
It happens often.
It does.
We do that often.
You don't see it. It's not in your face like MissionBar does.
True.
Like it's someone in the public eye just like moving the record back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything different that you would do?
I think the stakes...
More alcohol.
More alcohol.
You guys ran out? Nice.
That wasn't a bad thing either.
Yeah. No.
And the reason why that wasn't a bad thing was because that guy only makes a specific amount that he handmade, like his wine that he like it's a rarity. Like since there was less of it, I think everyone was just stoked that a guy was talking about this is the wine that I make.
That's so
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? More his story was way more, interesting than the wine itself.
That's so cool. Was it for sale or he was just giving it out?
I prepaid for it.
Dang.
So I prepaid for it, and
Out of your
then
own pocket.
and then it wasn't. It actually worked out because then he insisted on serving it
Oof.
because it's his product.
To
So
tell
like,
the story. So
yeah, exactly. So I was
you
like, oh, this
prepaid
is
for the
perfect.
story.
Yeah.
That's so
So
cool.
it was pretty ideal.
Yeah.
And he walked out with a bunch of money too, in terms of tips and networking and.
Ah.
That's epic.
Well,
But
was
that's what
was
we
it
do.
wine?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's so cool. He hand makes his own wine.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
ferments it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his first batch too.
That's
First batch
legendary.
that he ever like fermented and bottled.
Hand corked, everything.
Yeah.
Did you guys keep one for celebratory reasons?
No, the
Yeah.
wine for that event was the last of his stock.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
guys
I
could
see.
catch a bottle for yourself.
No, it was for everyone else to try. I've
Yeah.
already had 2 bottles of it.
Oh, okay.
That would have been cool. The first jug event bottle and you store it. That would have been
He's
sick.
got one. He has one more for him.
That's cool.
He's a smart man.
Because I was almost gonna buy 2 cases of wine.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, let's just get another case. Why not?
And he was like, no.
But he was like, oh, you actually bought the last of it. So,
Dang. That's so cool.
but everybody who participated was nervous, and that's what we do.
Mm.
Like the DJs were nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Vendor was nervous.
Were you nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the unknown.
The unknown. Yeah.
Especially being the one that's putting on the party in the alleyway.
Yeah.
Illegally. Kind of.
No, it was legal.
Ish.
I think everything was by the rules except for like the weed.
Yeah.
What about serving alcohol? Is there...
That was actually okay as long as it's not being sold.
Oh.
So the idea I had
Yeah.
was already right on the money. The woman who owned the venue was like, "Oh yeah, as long as it's like prepaid,
Mhm.
then it doesn't matter."
Oh, so you guys did do it by the books.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
private property, and
Yeah.
it worked out.
You're paying for a service.
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were accepting donations and tips,
Yeah.
There you go.
so
That's how the warehouse parties do it.
Yeah.
Learn from the best.
yeah,
Good old LA.
nothing being sold.
Yeah. Donations only.
That's fun.
Here's a suggested donation.
You you could get more if that makes
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
So people might be like, "Oh, let's just throw a dub in there."
Even the pizza?
Everything complimentary, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Everything was like.
Because we're broke. Especially
Yeah.
in Santa Ana, nobody has money. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna invite you on a Saturday night to spend money
In an alleyway.
in an alleyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come by and just chill and vibe.
All you have to do is show up, making
Yeah.
it so easy to party.
Your energy and what you say is going to fund this project.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's a good way to put that.
That's a way better idea than I thought it was.
All the money was untaxed too,
Yeah.
because we're getting paid under the table at our job. So all the money we spent on it for the local vendors just
Mhm.
goes
That's so
no
cool.
Uncle Sam. So
Yeah.
all the money stayed in a circle, stayed in a pocket.
Straight Santa Ana commune right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without making it like a commune thing.
Yeah, and it's just it's just every time we get to like I said today in Corazon, a dude who just knows this was like, oh hey dude, I really like the flyers you're making for Joel.
Mm.
It's like, oh well, that's all, like, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that to me, I'm like, oh, that's the design stuff that I love because it's coming from like it's coming from like real things.
Mm-hmm.
Like when someone there likes the way we presented something, it's not coming from like product, it's coming from like reality, like something where you're like, oh wow, man dude, thanks for putting this on, or oh man dude, I really like how this looks, on a very, in a way that I guess we've been working on for years. We're just like finally getting to like, but like the language, like we're finally getting like our own language down, because it's, I don't know, like I said, it was like talking about the podcast earlier, like, oh, I would rather have it look kind of like the way it does right now, so when we do get better at this, I will at least have some way of documenting like, oh, this is the beginning of this,
The foundation.
Yes.
where like all of our brand design stuff, I have all of it saved. It's all on my computer, but it's like, oh, but the pictures of the events are a lot more important than the designs, because it's like, oh, that's when we did this, or that's when this guy came around,
Yeah.
So, no, it's still good.
And that's usually the hardest part. Anytime we do an event,
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part is to get documentation.
Yeah. Well, the next one you guys should definitely do. I think it went off.
It's okay. We'll keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. I'm gonna set up another camera, guys, but I'm gonna grab that one.
So it's not charging. Did your tower turn off?
Yeah. Let's see. It's all good.
But but it pushed a lot of people. Like
Yeah.
all the DJs that I hired had never really done that.
Oh, so it's like a first for everyone.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And the
And you
worst.
paid them?
No, I didn't pay them.
Oh, okay, you said higher.
I can't afford that shit.
Yeah.
I paid for everything else. I ain't
Yeah.
paying them.
Yeah. You're giving them an opportunity.
And exactly, it's an opportunity.
Real time
So
feedback. That's all that matters.
and everybody killed it. That's the spooky part. I'm like, damn, everyone here is really talented.
Because there's not a lot of pressure when you're being paid to do something. There's so much pressure in that.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, whenever I do fire spinning and I'm not getting paid, it's really easy. But when I'm getting paid, it's really stressful. It's a weird transition. The next one you guys do, we should just do a podcast, open mic podcast there.
Oh, with the people
Have
involved.
you, me, Joel, just have the mics ready and then people just walk by and we talk.
Interview.
3 questions.
Yeah, that'd be cool. A couple questions, yeah.
Yeah.
Have it open up for like an hour.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. And the next one for sure, I think
We'll live stream it.
we'll be able to live stream it too and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
You guys
have a solid view, viewers that are watching the live streams?
No, but I have to be the one to start making a schedule to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
And promising once a week. But then I know I'm going to sprinkle on 4 to 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Because I know this rule of consistency that we have been talking about every episode it's clearly it makes that's the right word to use at this time is consistency.
Yeah.
Because if I make a flyer for on our jug page, once a week, I'm going to be here. I don't someone eventually will join, but I have to be doing it. I have to be scheduling once a week here because then everything else will be bonus.
Yeah.
And I have to view, like I said, it's for me to get through my head, I'm oh, everything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
And yeah, really, that's we're going to get it set up and we're going to get that going.
That's so cool.
So you're gonna live stream essentially, like the podcast, or
no?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It'll just be I want to say it'll be any medium because I think we'll go, and this will lead us into another topic here. The medium of podcast I think is now talking now I think is becoming an art form because it's hard to differentiate when you're on TikTok, Instagram, what is podcast versus what is live stream. It's just clipped feedback. It's a clip, but it's an art medium at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's ooh, the genre that a person talks in now is more of I think a paintbrush than the actual content itself. Because I could go on TikTok and my algorithm will be about someone reviewing cats the whole time. But it's not about them reviewing cats, it's the language they're using for reviewing cats.
Yeah.
And then you're oh, this is a whole like I said, I have to think of it as an art medium because...
Are they doing funny reviews? Are they doing a serious review?
How does their room look? Oh, it's all visual because...
Are they a beginning reviewer of cats?
Right.
How good's their mic?
And that's if someone even has the attention span to get to the audio part. That is why it's crazy because...
Are the mosquitoes getting you?
Not too bad.
Okay.
I think I just it's in my head.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening right now.
Because same, I don't see them, but I feel them.
No seals.
It's contagious.
and,
Sorry.
and think about this on TikTok. Most people aren't looking at context. They're just going through videos. Instagram, it's oh, you're going through videos. You might even just go on Twitter, or you might even forget that you're following somebody's thread on Twitter or even Threads and just want to go through comments and not even read them. Just be damn, look at all the comments. This was funny.
Yeah. That's so funny that you say that because I was at lunch with my coworkers and we were talking about toxic forums or toxic social media, and they're like, dude, you don't know the most toxic one is iFunny. And I was like, what the how is iFunny the most toxic one? They're like, have you guys read the comments? I was like, no, I just swiped through it and then just look for memes. And like, dude, the comments are toxic. And sure enough, he like pulled it up, and like, not only are they like toxic, but they're like a cult. Like everyone on iFunny thinks the same, and they are not afraid to share it. And like a meme about a cat is, in the comments, it's like a political warfare. It's
oh my goodness.
When you guys have time, if you guys want to go down that rabbit hole, it's pretty funny.
I will.
I like that the reels on Instagram give you like a highlight. Like you'll be watching the reel, and then a comment will fade in. Have you seen that?
No.
You'll see it like when you watch a reel.
Yeah.
At the top of the thing, a comment will fade in.
And they just select a random comment?
And it'll be random, or it'll be one that's bumped, and it's usually the funniest one.
Oh.
And so that's how they reel you in to be like, okay, let me look at the comments.
That's so smart.
Because I didn't read comments until reels came out.
Because
then it would flash one at you, like, oh, that's funny as heck. Let me see the thread. Let me see the thread for this combo. Dang. And then same thing, like it's like the comments are gonna be funnier.
Yeah.
As funny as the reel.
That's legendary.
That's funny.
That's a good team over there at Instagram. Over there at
shouts
Meta.
out.
Over there at Meta. King Zuck.
And
giving us what we want.
What an asshole. He was like, you like meth? Here's more.
Oh, and that fight's actually gonna happen.
Supposedly.
What fight?
Elon?
Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk.
No, there's no. Is that real?
So far. Yeah, there's.
How?
You get to a point, you get to a level of troll where you could just literally do whatever you want. And that's what those two men have gotten to.
They're gonna fight and like donate the money to charity type stuff.
I think Elon really paved the way when he smoked that joint on
charity.
Yeah.
He had no idea what he was doing, though. He admitted that.
He knew what he was doing.
The way he took it too, no cough. It was just like, yeah, that's good. And like, bitch, you smoke weed. Like, there's no way you
he had to play it off dumb. He had to play it off dumb. Like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Once he realized what he was doing, he was like, oh wait, this might be a bad idea. But then he realized like he's at that level where if his whole world fell apart, he's fine. Like if everything fell apart because of that action,
his life would actually be easier.
Yeah. So maybe he was at that moment where he was just like, fuck it. And then now it's created a bunch of fuck it's.
Like, it's inspired others.
All those rich people just be like, okay, yeah, fuck it.
Elon can do it.
Yeah.
Look what he made.
Yeah. Look what he did.
Does.
I could sleep with this hooker. Like that.
But
that's what's going down. You know it.
Yeah, and we're probably gonna see a meme like Elon's smoking this really got me out the hood in the risk that I should have been.
Yeah. It's whatever. It's interesting because then you got celebrities doing what we're doing, and I don't mind it. Like I don't care about celebrities. The one that comes to mind is like the Red Table with Will Smith and his wife and his
Jada Smith.
Yeah. And like they come together as a family. They have a podcast and they just talk about real stuff that's going on with their life, and it's hilarious because it's like you're a celebrity, like no one. Really
I was about to say like I like watching that stuff for exactly like your life ain't normal, but I love the comments about your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you guys thinking?
Yeah, and that's cool.
Is that where she revealed she had a thing with that guy?
Yeah. And then you got Will Smith crying.
It's pretty intense.
So you got raw moments and seeing those characters. We're all characters. Seeing those characters do their thing and then get raw and then post it. That's cool.
That's pretty brutal.
And that's like a form of like fuck it.
Like, they also bring a lot of people on there as well that aren't normally on there, and they're pretty raw and intense as well.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I just think Jada, right? Jada. I think her personality of like never changing who she was from day one is really cool. Because she's always been real and authentic.
Yeah.
Like,
what does she have to lose?
Exactly. She's already.
Is she an actress or anything?
I wish I knew more before I brought this up.
Yeah, I think so.
I really don't know. I'm like drawing a blank right now. Like, I really don't know.
Yeah.
People in the comments will rip us a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's definitely been around the scene, so maybe it's just being around the scene.
For dating reasons, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
For dating.
Or what?
Yeah. But that's cool.
Yeah.
To see these celebrities just have fuck it moments. And then just to talk to our friends that are trying to be in that scene of like the public limelight. And then you talk to them like Garrett, Julio, the boy that does the camera, Alex. You talk to those guys and you're like, okay, when you make it, like, do you think that's going to affect you? And all three of those guys are like, no, like, I'm going to just do exactly what I'm doing right now, just with more money.
Yeah. You have to let it get you. Like, trust me, you, like, that's how you'd want it. You don't want to instantly be famous. You'd rather have it be like a slow burn and then realize one day, fuck, can't do anything.
But we all know those three homies are always going to do what they want to do.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're gonna like they are bearing their cross to like they're gonna go to the grave with it.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix style.
Yeah,
like just show up and do a rap battle in the middle of like nowhere. Like they're just going to pull off that kind of stuff.
It's like giving me like Adam Sandler vibes. How he's just so chill.
Yeah,
he does whatever he wants.
Wearing basketball shorts to his shoes, like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
You ever see his basketball shorts?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't give a.
Look comfy.
He's so nonchalant.
Yeah.
I love it.
Or same style with Leo, just dating like barely legal girls. Like he doesn't care.
Or Al Pacino with his like 23-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, having a kid. It's like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah. Cool. But isn't it crazy how dating gets upticked the most for some reason? I'm like dating.
Well, think about everything. That's with songs too.
Yeah.
If you think of like any popular song, it's all about relationships.
Yeah.
I got annoyed by that.
Either be short term, long term.
No term.
Always about opposite sex though.
It's weird. It got me really weird one day because I was like flipping through all my liked songs on Spotify. I was like, damn. Yeah. Every single one's about a relationship.
Who hurt you?
It's like they're so subtle sometimes too. And you're like, damn, this one's about a relationship too. I thought it was just a catchy song.
Sometimes
no such thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you find one and it's like it's really good and you start to realize, oh no, it's like a Christian song. So it's not about a relationship. It's about God.
Yeah.
I've done that with a few songs and I had no idea.
Yeah. Which isn't a big deal.
No, not at all.
I think
it's a different subject matter.
Oh, 100%, but I had no idea what the subject matter was.
Yeah, once you just dive in with what you're consuming, it gets kind of trippy too. In all aspects. Because her and I, we started recently looking at ingredients in our food that we eat. And
you should have never done that.
Yeah,
so
I was about
scary.
to say, you should have never done that.
Oh, it's so
that Pandora box is insane.
It's ruined me.
Yeah, it's gross.
Good. It should be gross.
Yeah, especially because in the U.S. you're legally have to list the ingredients in order of the amount that's in the product.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I didn't know this, but it makes sense. I'll give you. I'll sorry to interrupt, but I think I'm good on that. Probably, I'll give you a ratio of the week.
Yeah.
Probably like, would you say, Joel, like a solid maybe? I'm not counting days. I'm just saying day by day to week in the same ratio. So maybe like an 8-2 ratio, 8-3 ratio. I'm pretty good most of the time. Like today I spent like $24 on chicken. I know what was in it. I got like cilantro. Like I knew exactly what was in the guacamole that I got, and I knew exactly what was in my like pico de gallo thing with like pineapple with exactly to the blue corn tortilla chips.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes I turn that off. Like I definitely like have to turn that off once in a while.
Yeah.
Because the damage is already done from when we were younger.
Yeah.
It's like smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's irreversible, though.
Mm-hmm.
We're at a time in our life where we can work on that. We're not.
You know, but air quality, like we can get like lung cancer from like when we were in high school and there was a bad fire and air quality was like 105 for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
And we just didn't know. We didn't have iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
Weird shit like that, you know.
No education in
you
our
know,
pocket.
we just had no. We just didn't even know.
Yeah.
So go ahead, eat your Raisin Canes.
It's easy for the four of us to say that.
True.
Yeah, because we don't have like. I know you deal with like some health issues.
Yeah.
But like, we don't have the ones where we're like forced too.
Extreme.
Pretty much like cancerous ailments.
Yeah.
So, but then as you get older, like you slowly creep up on that age where like you gotta take it more seriously. Yeah. You either do or don't.
Yeah.
There's plenty of like not adult, but like plenty of like older people in my life that don't take it seriously. And they're fine.
True.
But the ones that do take it seriously, they look so young.
Yeah. So it's like every like woman in Newport Beach.
That's a different.
Well, that's next tier. That's top tier.
That's different though. That they're going under the knife.
No, but I feel like it's like a thing. Like you spend lots of money on like food and like good stuff.
Yeah. And Botox.
And Botox too, but you know they all have the look like, oh yeah, this person doesn't eat oils. Yeah. She doesn't eat sunflower oils and.
There is a good health movement in Southern California.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming more of a topic amongst our friends.
Yeah, it's very prevalent.
Yeah.
Health is wealth.
And it's funny, people gave me shit for
having this mindset years
since
ago.
What, Joel? Since I was like 20, probably since I was like 19. I remember my dad just being like, you know, you're gonna fail one of these days. Like, tell me to my face. It just being like, you know, when I see it and like when you have that, we'll just be here to pick you up. And then years later, you're like, you lost all that weight. Like, you know, like shit like that where I'm like, being Hispanic, it's like, you're already, the chips are stacked against you. As soon as you say, you know, Grandma, like, I can't eat your fried bullshit. You know? and then her always having to always sneak in extra shit all the time. And I just, you know, and like I said, at first I was like, oh, this was my first instance of like, oh, I can't be nice in this regards. Like, I cannot be nice when it comes to food.
When it comes to your health.
When it comes to health in that regards, because people will always tell you, you could just have a little bit. I'm like, damn, a little bit every day. Like,
misery loves company.
Yeah, well, misery, that aspect, and then also, you were like an actual athlete. Like when you don't eat right, like it doesn't just like it doesn't affect you a little bit. It affects you a lot of it.
Yeah. Like
you cannot perform the next day, or perform in the gym, or perform mentally with whatever you have to do the next day. Because as an athlete, like your asset is your body.
Yeah.
Like people just don't know that. A lot of people don't understand that concept.
They don't.
Yeah, it's a different level.
But you definitely got to be sick I realize you got to be like sick in the head. Like even I know, like.
Oh, it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable because we'll just go into the next talk. But I want to like.
Yeah.
So.
Sustainable living.
I went down the rabbit hole of like.
Mind.
There is one drug that has been on my mind for ages, but I've avoided taking it. Sports, everything, because I've seen it around me. But
which one is it?
Testosterone replacement therapy might have to be like.
But you're already a god.
I know, but here's the reason why though, like health reason. This is like me like being like, okay, since I know the arthritis for my cartilage injuries is gonna kick in at. It won't get any better than where I'm at now. Like, in terms of, like, I'm at a good peak right now of, like, oh, mental, physical health is good.
Yeah.
But to sustain it, I know if I can get my testosterone onto a chemical level and not natural level, I know I can sustain, like, my muscle tissue to keep things, like, stable. Where it would benefit, like, I could see myself benefiting from all like I said, all realms of it. Like, it's like, oh, this would keep all of the stability in my knees and shoulder where the muscle tissue could recover at the same rate now and still recover at the same rate at 50. Where I'm like, oh, that's because that has been, how did I say, last night I went down the rabbit hole more and more about this because this whole week it's been like...
What about the PRP therapy? The platelet replacement, where they take your blood out and then they do something to it, then they put it back in you.
That's cool.
I think... How should I say? From what?
How did you hear about that?
I saw what's her name doing it, Lauren Green.
Oh, is that what she's up to now?
Yeah. She's like bodybuilding.
She's incredible.
She's so intense.
She's intense, and then she's getting that too for recovery.
That's
you
incredible.
take some blood out, you juice it up, and you put it back in, and then
can you hire your own supply?
Yeah, it's like recovery. It's natural.
That's super sick.
And she is very jacked. She is pretty.
But you have to get it. You
it's
have
not
to
even
get
jacked. It's just she's very like
she's
on
lost,
it.
She's lost so much weight. I'm so happy for her.
But they have to like put it in your butt like a needle like this big.
That's insane.
And like we're gonna put it back in. Ah!
Goodbye.
So if you're ready for that.
Oh, and then the testosterone for.
Well, no, that's overdue. I can taste it.
It's all good.
I don't want you guys to judge me. Like, damn, Joel's such an asshole.
Because there was no hesitation.
Yeah. I know King's Hawaiian bread.
It's all good.
You're crazy.
What?
No, but
TRT.
So
no, talking about the dimension though, just for a hot moment. Is that hard to deal with? Is it easy? No,
it's easy. It's easy. The reason why it's easy is because we've already spent maximum amount of time with our grandma. I have no like there's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no like, oh, I wish I could have, should have, would have. Like our grandma's been our grandma since the dawn of time, since we've seen her with our own two eyes.
And you guys been fortunate enough for her to live so close and
be around. Yeah.
And but what it's teaching us is what I think. When I hear people talk about what old age is versus like observing it, and this is the whole TRT, like the thought of like, yeah, I know guys that are 70 that are like I know people like my grandpa's age who are like completely jacked that are on TRT from like the coaching stand that are like really healthy, that nothing is wrong with them. That I'm like, oh, and when you talk to them, like I've been taking this for 40 years.
Oh shit.
You see, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, you guys been on it even in the midst when it wasn't even being studied. That's the part, that quote unquote with all the dimensional, it's like, oh, I think preparing for old age is like I guess everyone will have a point in their life with the decision they have to make, and whatever that decision is pretty much who you're going to become.
Go out naturally, or
oh no, not just naturally, just in your mind, just whatever you choose. Like our grandpa is now what he has chosen his entire life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
fat and lazy.
Fat it's like oh, fat and lazy, complacent, and it's like, oh, but it wasn't just physically. It was how he talks to you, how he approaches you, how he talks to our grandma.
Who's inspired you guys to be on it? So like, you guys, both of you have been on that health kick since high school.
So
middle school.
Should I want me to go first?
I have no preference.
we first off,
Joel's just here.
We have both of our parents, so like our parents never got divorced. I'll say that's like that's the first one.
Key.
That is major key.
Two-parent household is major key.
That is like major key. I can see now from like comparison, like that's a major key. The second,
even if it's hardly a household.
Yes.
It just has to be two parents regardless.
Yes. And the second one was like our parents were very non-complacent, and they were always like busy workers. But I didn't realize it either. But it's like, oh, also with like me and Joel, it's like I have one brother. I'm like, oh yeah, if anyone has kids, they should probably have a brother or sister to try to get brotherhood and sisterhood in. If I have parents, it's fatherhood and motherhood. Like it's things that, and the reason why is because my parents didn't have those things. Them staying together gave us those things, but they were still struggling. As weird as, and it's like, oh, the two-parent household struggling together, staying together, seems to have created all of our habits. But we have no control over that either. It's just one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, you're upset one day over something, and then I'm like, but you know what I'm saying? You go back to our actual childhood, and it's like, oh, nothing was that bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? It goes back to being like, our default is nothing was that bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, that's the part where like when someone goes and sees me work out, go do something, it's like that's the fraction of a thought that I'm like, oh, this is the biggest like, I don't want to say advantage, but it makes a difference. It makes it's such a, it's like, it is.
How does this lead to health?
It leads to health because it's like, oh, we got to view two people struggle in a relationship, because every relationship in life you will struggle with. And when you don't see anyone persevere through relationships, it is probably so difficult. I will tell you, it is probably like I don't know, it's like for some people it's like they're gonna see it somewhere else, but it might be like, damn, that took me it's I don't know, it's not that I don't know, but the struggling in a relationship, it's like, oh, we get to like put that in a lot of things. Like we get to put that in a lot of things, and I'm like, oh, it's
I'm struggling with my relationship to art and expression.
Are you?
No.
I didn't think so. You've been doing it for a while. You've been on it.
But it comes and goes.
Yeah.
I need to be blessed with like the creativity or something.
What about you? Like, just circling back to your perspective, like, what do you think really was like the big motivator to be healthy?
Being healthy?
Yeah. Because a lot of us growing up, like most of us were in the house playing video games. But you and a select few like ventured off and got into skateboarding, got into BMXing, got into everything.
I think more than anything, I just got lucky.
In what way?
Like my metabolism, genetics, the interest of like not being into video games. But at this age, there's no such thing as luck. So now everything after like 23 is now like a real thing.
You have to like actually work for it.
You have to work for it.
Yeah.
And so that's like the driving factor, because luck isn't like, you can't rely on it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna rely on luck till I'm 40.
Which is hilarious.
Like like I know life doesn't work like that.
Because you do see those lucky few that were in high school that were just like, I would say blessed with genetics, and you look at them now and they're definitely complacent.
Yeah.
And it's like interesting to see that. It's like, oh shit.
But I think it's also like all the years of abuse is like definitely trained my body. Like my gut biome has to be strong because I can, you know what I mean? Like the gut biome
I ain't shit off the floor.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The gut biome is potent, because I know some people go to McDonald's once and they're like, dude, that fucked me up for like 2 days. Where I'm like, oh, I just go get that as like a breath of fresh air sometimes. Like I just run through and get something.
Bitch, like take the 100 nugget challenge with me. And
you know, it's been vetted. Yeah. So whatever's in there is like vetted. Like,
yeah, Garrett's never gonna get fat for the rest of his life. That boy survived on fast food for a hot minute.
True. He was in New York.
Yeah. No. Before New York, growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. His mom bought us McDonald's.
A lot. McDonald's, pizza, you name it. Fast food, it was there. But it was good. Like I have a good metabolism because of his family, because I was always there.
But I think now though, like the mental state is definitely much more important in terms of
mental clarity.
Mental clarity is good.
What are you taking, babe? Talk about it. Plug it in. She's taking some crazy ass honey.
It's not necessarily honey. It's called Shilajit.
Okay.
It's
is that
basically
from South America?
Somewhere, not in America.
Yeah.
It's basically plant medicine.
Say it clear for the mic. That way the 25 could go and buy it.
It's plant medicine, essentially. So it's like resin from a bunch of plants. It's extremely healthy for you. And I'm trying to use it as replacing for my coffee. So I have it in tea in the morning. And it's...
When she says in tea, it's literally the gross stuff with honey and water. That's the tea.
Yeah, I guess it's
you're
really
making
tea.
a tea. Yeah,
it's not a real tea.
A hot infused.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so it comes in like these like little honey sticks, right? That's the way I get it. But you can get it in like a little pot, and you can just scoop out a little bit and put it in your hot water. It's really good. I like it. And it gives me so much mental clarity, far more than I've ever had with coffee, and more energy, and I feel great.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long it'll last, but
we bring it up because it was her first day, and she definitely thinks she feels the effects of it significantly. And she didn't drink coffee today. So my first question was, did you drink coffee? Because
no, I'm gonna wait till after this because I'm gonna work on stuff. Yeah. But here's where the testosterone comes in.
Yeah, you could skip all that and just take testosterone and you will be your best self every day. You might even grow muscles.
And lots of body hair.
The acronym is
TRT.
TRT. So TRT, is it legal?
Oh yeah, you could go to a doctor and get it prescribed for like any reason. It's like
weed back in the day.
Now it is. Now it's
sleep,
like,
bro.
Yeah.
There's TRT in my life.
And it's crazy because the reason why testosterone, like for guys at least, our vessels are meant to hold testosterone. Yeah. And especially in the age we live in now, it's like
I think there's a lack of testosterone.
There might actually be guys might be getting testosterone therapy earlier in life because of
Do you lose it if you jack off?
No.
On real talk?
No.
You lose it when you're being a candy ass.
And there's a lot of estrogen in pesticides now.
Fuck.
So
no soy milk for me.
No, on real talk though, like you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
How do you take it? Is it
so? I think you can either do pill or shot, but from what I heard, shot is like doing it with the needle is like the best way to get it.
And are you nervous about that?
No, because the outcomes are the outcome it would be at like when I say astronomically like that
you'd feel like 18 again.
I would feel like 18 again, and like I said, my energy is fine. I'm actually this is like I said the healthiest I've ever been. Like in every way, physically, I feel better than I did when I was 20. Everything is at like a very peak heightened state physically for me. But I understand like, oh, this is my like limit. Like I know the next 4 or 5 years I'm gonna be on a good like this is like the tippy top peak. It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah.
And when I'm coming to this conclusion of energy is it's like, oh, I need coffee to keep consistently doing things. Well, like that's gonna fail me. That's literally gonna fail me as we work on stuff where I'm like, oh, if I get on testosterone, well, that's not gonna fail me. And I know, and when I say I know that for a fact, I just see it based on just the coaches that are around me. A lot of the older guys that I've been around, like especially down at the Wet Lab, it's like, oh, all these guys are 50, 60, 70, people like my grandpa's age. I'm sold. You know, but I also...
I can't get old enough sooner because I want to hop on.
But where do I sign the paper, bro?
But I know that this is like the one thing, right?
Yeah.
There is still that chance that it could fuck up your like cardiovascular, like you know what I'm saying? Like because you're getting something that increases heart rate. That can literally, how should I say, if my biggest thing is I'm already a happy person, so it's like this wouldn't necessarily add anything psychologically and might actually do some harm instead. That's the risk of like oh, that's the risk that I'm seeing. That some guys it has an adverse effect where it's like all of a sudden it affects their cardiovascular system in their heart just because of irregularities and growth of things that shouldn't be growing.
Yeah.
But this is like the big but part. I hate saying but because I want to be definitive in this. Is like,
yeah,
I really want to test this out because I feel with my injuries and how did I say with knowing my limitations of my body and what has the damage that's already been done, like I said, I want to give it a chance and hopefully using this as like another conversation starter to be like, oh, well, I want to do this because if it turns out to be successful for me, well, then that means I can help out the next guy. Because my thing is like, oh, all my injuries, I know all the cartilage and everything. Like I said, I know my tissue's not gonna like to keep the stability together. It's not gonna grow. It's gonna get slower and slower as we get older, where the tissue's not gonna you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna heal as fast. But I'm like, oh, if I'm on testosterone, I'm gonna get a constant level of heal, like metabolic rate.
Yeah.
That I will tell you guys the other bonus is the aesthetic part. I will get fucking jacked. Like I know for a sec, it's
you can sound like a protein powder.
I know, and it's the one thing that I've been like, that this is the one thing any guy who plays sports that gets to do it in college. You choose two routes. You're either gonna choose the steroid route or you're gonna choose the yoga tai chi route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. and I chose the yoga tai chi route. I definitely was like,
it paid off.
It paid off. It paid off in dividends.
And you can still have your cake now.
And I can still have my cake.
Because nothing, when you go the opposite route, everything is artificial. So at one point it does wear off, and at one point you do stop, and then at one point you look like.
I want to look like a deep meat, a deep fried piece of meat.
Yeah. It's just
looking like a hot link.
It's inedible. You got it. Like that's what's going to happen. You're going to look like Arnold, like just just tissue. But sounds like TRT, right? TRT.
Yes.
It sounds like you've done a lot of research and you've done enough consideration to like make the decision that's best for you, for sure.
You should track your experience as well.
Yes, because I think, like I said,
this is good content on YouTube.
Because listening to the what is it?
You gotta show the shot up the ass though.
Yes, I will. I'll even show the first time I do it.
You can't just show the good parts. You gotta show the stressful parts. Because that first shot's gonna be stressful, no doubt.
And it will be because
it'd be like a superhero movie when you're like, I can feel it. Yeah. What's the first thing you're gonna do?
The thing is, I'm not gonna do anything different. That's why I'm so confident. Yeah. My lifestyle's already good. I'm not.
Do you have an appointment to do this? Or?
No, I'm gonna in Orange County. Here's the advantage of Orange County: aesthetic research clinics are. Let's just say everyone takes TRT for the aesthetic reason. So there are plenty of clinics here in Orange County that are accessible. Top. It is very accessible here and in LA.
What's the treatment cost?
You know? I think they said it's around roughly 150 to like 200, maybe 300 a month, depending on like where you go. Doctor. It's like I said, it's not a bad gig because to me it's like, okay, this is the expensive gym pass I'm gonna pay for.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of other dudes doing the same shit, and
I pay that. I used to pay that before I started saving up for the burn. I used to pay that for hot yoga.
Yeah.
It was up to like $275. Because you gotta pay for a good studio.
You can pay that much and then just swing like clubs and do push-ups at home, and it'd be as if you went to the good gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy you're doing it. Be the
considering.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not trying to talk you into it.
And the thing is, RJ, it's because RJ, the practices are really good. Like my self practices are all about control.
Yeah.
So I am definitely like, I am leaning on that side so heavy. Yeah. As of late.
What if your mood changes and you grow mad with power? Let me just do a couple sets of bench. Let me just get a little pump. But let's get a little chiseled.
But here's where testosterone comes in. Testosterone is the reward for effort in men. So men take pleasure in testosterone because if you play sports or you get good at something, like I said, for men that's the reward for effort.
Flows.
That exactly, the test flows. but it's the reward for effort. It's the drug that essentially makes effort euphoric for men. Mm-hmm. That is, like I said, more things that I've come to conclusion with.
You've done so much research already.
but we're not doing all this manly stuff. Yeah. And that's why there's lower testosterone levels. Because the men are candy asses, so they're losing it. They're like, I'm gonna go get strawberry matcha.
You guys have spent way too much time with Mr. Chavez.
Oh God! I mean, he is God. He is the epitome.
He is the manliest man in Orange County for sure.
100%.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Financially, the way he conducts himself,
the way he dresses,
he's a man.
The way he talks, the way he's attacked life in general.
Yeah.
He leads the man charge.
He wasn't always the man in charge, though.
No, we saw him. Yeah.
We saw him at his lowest.
Yeah, but then one day he made a drastic decision, and he dealt with that decision and changed his entire life.
Yeah. Now the test is flowing hard.
Yeah, he's on TRT.
It's
definitely impossible without TRT.
He's got more spunk than me at 18.
Than the three of us, bro.
Yeah, combined.
I saw him the other day throwing a javelin in the park. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is that why he was asking me?
He wants to be like an Olympian. I like it. He's on that like old like OG European shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna be the man.
Yeah.
That's why he.
No one's gonna do it better than me. He has that mindset.
Dots are connecting over here.
No, I used to cook javelin. Like I literally,
okay.
It's the one with the spear, right?
Yeah.
We need to build a sweat lodge, and we need to have a podcast with him in the sweat lodge.
Yeah.
With his sunglasses on.
I would hate to see that.
Just with like one of those small towels.
With the loincloth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you guys have him on this podcast?
Yeah.
It's hard to take time away from his manhood, though.
Of course.
It's also hard because I think older guys like that don't like being recorded.
Yeah.
Like I love all these old guys that we know. They love talking, but then if it were to be recorded, they're like, yeah, I don't want the government knowing what I said. They're gonna be on some weird stuff out of nowhere.
He might be cool with it.
Yeah, he might be because he is so modern. Like
because he's listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
And he's part of those groups that are talking.
We couldn't have him in here though. We have to level up. We need to do it like a podcast studio.
Yeah.
We would have to just bring the stuff to his house.
Yeah.
But don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
The studio is gonna be coming.
Cigars and whiskey and stuff. You know what I mean?
I want to make this a thing. Yeah. That's probably the greatest.
That would probably be the goal.
That's why we have you on the podcast.
And the goal would be
one aspect.
Yep, I need to bring that. I'm surprised you guys didn't think about that, though.
We don't think.
About what?
We're too busy
having
talking.
him on here.
Now we would. But now the idea.
now we have a goal. We have something to work towards. Because Guy would be like, "This is not very gentlemanlike of you."
Yeah, he would rip us a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Don't call me again until the room is clean." I'm like,
Guy, don't do anything until the room is clean.
Yeah, he's like, "Don't do anything until the mosquitoes are gone."
Yeah, the hillbillies.
How do you expect me to talk on this pod with mosquitoes in here?
Yeah. Mosquitoes, man. No, I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
In any direction everything that you've done for your life, it's always exciting.
Yes, and this will be the first drug that I will probably say that I'm like
excited about because
like I said,
you don't like
I was pretty I don't mind it, but I'm like I was very straight edge, I was very much on that heart of like, don't need drugs, don't need this, don't need that, but then when you do psychedelics you're like, oh yeah, that's going completely wrong. That's that's actually the worst thing you could say, because it's like, oh yeah, like life is psychedelic, like you're like, oh yeah, that's right. I realized that
your brain gives you drugs.
Say that one more time.
What, that life is psychedelic?
You have no idea the conversation I had today. That's exactly like what I was going for. Because like I was talking to our sales, because like her and I, not her and I, because we work at the same job, but we used to have 2 floors.
Tom Ferry?
Yeah.
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 Cool.
And thank you for just putting that out there.
What?
In case someone wants to.
I just wanted to know, because I was like, I don't know, maybe you moved jobs or something. I don't know.
I'm just kidding. No one cares enough. But I worked on the higher floor, and she worked on the bottom floor, and they put everyone that doesn't really need to talk on the top, and then everyone that does talk on the bottom. So you got the customer service, the sales guys.
Noise.
Just a lot of noise on the bottom. And then you got the accountants, you got the marketing team, you got the events team, you got everyone that doesn't work, that doesn't talk to work. They do work in their computer. And then we did that for a little while, and then we were going to keep that. However, we opened up an office in Texas. So then the CEO is like, okay, like I have way too much space in California. I'm bringing everyone down to the same floor. So this is the first week that all of us are on the same floor. And I love it because I used to be a sales guy, so I like the energy, and the energy is like overwhelming for like a lot of my coworkers, and like I get it. It's like a hard transition, but I'm fired up. It puts me in that mindset of like going back to sales. And I was talking to this guy in the break room, a sales guy. He was just talking about the highs and the lows of sales, and then we talked about drugs like stimulants that like help you sell. He hasn't taken them, but like of course his like sales guys take stimulants to help them sell.
Like what, like nicotine?
People
get.
And Adderall, right, is a very positive part of sales, right?
I won't speak for our company because like I don't know the guys in our company, but Wolf of Wall Street does. Yeah, like people take everything from coffee all the way to cocaine, like they all in between. But this guy specifically, the one I was talking to, doesn't even take coffee, and he just wants to deal with the lows as low as they get, and he wants to deal with the highs as high as they get. And then he said naturally. I asked him, and it's because he was about the lifestyle of psychedelics and really pushing the limit of like expanding your consciousness. And he said it got to a point where basically my higher self told me, you are at that limit, and like stop. Like he's like, my higher self told me, if you're going to push it even further than this, you're going psychotic.
Oh wow.
And he essentially said I was breaking that point of like losing my mind. So then he cut it cold turkey, and now he's at that Zen life where it's like life is psychedelic. And he said the same thing you just said, so it was like full circle. Because he says he goes to festivals and he does feel that psychedelic hallucination, like everything's wavy, the energy, he could feel the vibe, he could feel the energy. And I think he's pushed it so far that he actually, now that he's 100% sober, he actually could get high on his own supply.
Yeah, and want me to tell you how that works? I could tell you my analogy of that, and this is very recent, a self-discovery. I would be the worst person at practice, but then every time I show up to compete, I would do my best. And at that point, I realized I was an extrovert. And the true meaning of extrovert is actually, my drug is when people are around me competing around me. That's the only way I do better. And I know that sounds like, when I realized, like, oh, every time I got to play sports, I just showed up and won. And it's because I didn't hesitate. And I was just like, oh, but during practice, I was the worst. I was literally the worst. I had like I would show up and just because I'm not an actor. Exactly, because I'm not an actor. But then when it come to sport, when it would come to like game time, I would be cool, calm, collective, all those things, and then show up and compete on, like I said, my own thoughts. And it's like, oh, most of my time growing up, a lot of people thought I was an introvert. Turns out I was actually an extrovert. I just like, how did I say it? Once I showed up in an area where people were watching.
If someone told me you were an introvert, I'd be like, are we talking about the same person?
But you got to think. But you got to think. I was I had so much respect for myself and the work I was doing that I never thought anything past that. So all my energy was always going towards sports, video production, trying to pass classes. Each one of those, I had a mentor or tutor. Yeah. Always had a person that was always feeding me to do better. And it's like, oh, well, I didn't choose the other route where I'd be like, fuck the teacher, I'm going to go do something else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's weird because you're like, oh, most of my energy came from that. That has been my coffee. That has been the psychedelic part. And I could say that is like, oh, it feel like very defining moment is that like, oh, I am an extrovert, because competing is like, I love when someone is better than me. I love it. Like I when someone's better than me, I always have something to gain. Like I'm like, oh cool, that person's here, cool. Now I can take all this time to get to where they're at. Well, they're in the front taking all the pain. I'm right behind them being like, okay, I'm going to try to catch up to where you're at. Yeah. And then try to learn from all your mistakes over here and then go do something else.
No, that's the key with everything. That's what I'm doing with the fire community. And it's not pissing off people, but it's definitely
it's pissing off people.
It is pissing off people. It's pissing people off because they
worked many years for it.
They worked really. Not everyone in the group I'm in is relatively new. I wouldn't say anyone's past 5 years.
Yeah.
But they've worked hard enough for the 3 years that they've been doing it to get to a certain level. And I'm very much like Isaac, where I'm looking at the person that's doing it and I'm understanding how they're doing it, and then I'm understanding what they did wrong, and then I'm understanding where they got their inspiration from, and I'm putting in the work and effort to do everything that they did over the span of 3 years. I'm trying to do it in weeks. I'm trying to get the move down within a day, and I do that I would only be able to do that by them showing me.
They already made all the mistakes.
But they didn't have anyone to show them. They didn't
during the pandemic. They learned by themselves during the pandemic.
Most of them learned by themselves during the pandemic. And then not only that, but like a lot of the fire spinners, there is definitely a ceiling with your clique, like your clique or like your group. Because you're all doing the same moves, and if you're not seeing anything new, there's no inspiration or desire to learn something new.
Someone needs to step up.
Well, and that's the trick. You just go to different ones, because then you're constantly seeing something new.
Yeah, and being around people who are better.
Yeah, and you're constantly relighting your flame.
Yeah.
I went to the thing that you're about to go to. We'll keep it anonymous for now.
Yes.
It's like Fight Club. You don't talk about it. But the thing in the desert, I went to that, and
Burning Man?
No.
another desert occasion.
Yeah. Yes. She went with it.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, right?
It was phenomenal.
So, these people go out there and they celebrate the full moon every month, and they go regardless of the day. So we're talking like Wednesday, they'll go on Wednesday.
Yeah. Has to be on the full moon.
Full moon.
Days are irrelevant. Moon's relevant.
Yeah, and they don't care about doing multiple days. They care about going out, celebrating the full moon, and then packing up and going back to their normal life. And they've been doing it for 30 years. And on top of that, the people that started this whole situation are still doing it. So now you go to this event, and you're talking to like people in their 50s, and they're like, my kids have been to like 10 of these, and their kids are like 12. And I'm like, yo, how
that's crazy.
It's so fun.
The perspective that these people are giving their kids, because you think
it sounds traditional.
Yeah, you think of a desert
moon
festival.
ritual.
Yeah, moon ritual as like people going out there doing as much drugs as they can, drinking as much booze as they can, just acting ridiculous and leaving. But it's like polar opposite. These people go out there to expand and like be more self-aware of like who they are. They go there with so much baggage of like their normal life. They go there and they release it in the desert, and they go back home, and then it's like they're a whole different person. And the conversations that you're going to have are going to blow your mind, because you're going to have conversations with people that have been so successful, yet they still come out to the desert and they're still putting in the work to be human.
And they come from all over the states.
They fly in for this one night from Texas, like, but
drive in. They'll rent a van for it.
The whole reason why I brought this up is because the fire spinners or the fire performers at that event are pushing boundaries past anything you see online. So if you're not going to this event, you're not seeing the cutting edge stuff, because these people don't care about social media. They're on a different wavelength, and they're just expanding, and like the stuff that the way that they move their body with the prop is completely different.
With the new moon, that's like a whole nother vibe as well.
Yeah, and they're doing it differently because they got into the point where they don't need to watch, they just need to do.
Yeah.
And that was like mind blowing, because it was just incredible how to see these people how they moved, and the way that they moved and the different things that they used. It was incredible.
That's like the goal. That's like the dream. Sorry, go for it.
No, it sounds inspiring.
Yeah.
Like here, we're like weekend warriors.
Yeah.
People are being profound Friday through Sunday, where that's like kind of short term. Where the moon once a month seems pretty profound. A much better thing to be accountable, anchored to.
Yeah, and these guys are solid. Like, you could tell the camaraderie, because every time a new guy came into the fire circle, it would be like people running towards that guy, like so excited that he's there. But I come and like no one even acknowledged me. So you could tell that these people have been going to this thing, and they have been constantly pushing the limits. And it was just mind blowing of like how much energy they put into their spinning for no one but themselves. Because after they got done, they didn't want to talk to anyone. They would walk off into the middle of the darkness and just be calm and like be one with their thoughts and like really take in what they just did.
That's the best.
It was very fascinating. And then you got me just fucking... I was acting like a fool. I was trying to push the boundaries when I should have just watched.
But you have to.
But you were honest with yourself.
Yeah, but you have to.
You were being open.
Because you would rather be broken. But it's okay though, RJ. That's the point.
I think that's the only time you would do it is during the new moon ritual.
Yeah, I came out with white eyelashes, bro. I burnt all my eyelashes.
It's like they grew back.
I had really long ones before this.
Oh. They're little stubs now.
Getting patches in my eyebrows and whatnot. But I think I'm the same way. Like, I see competition, and I think that would be like a form of competition, because without knowing it, they are pushing it because they do want to show what they got. And when you see that in individuals, it really sparks you and motivates you to keep going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for me, it has to be do or die. If it's not do or die, can't perform.
When have moments been in your life that's been do or die?
The event we just did.
Were you were pretty nervous about it?
Yeah. It's a lot of things to organize, a lot of people to text. I
think it's pretty nerve-wracking for you too, because like, not to put you in even more of a nervous state, but you have all your friends that are really inclined in the music world coming to your event. So to choose the song that they're going to listen to for the next however long you performed for, that's really hard.
Yeah,
because you got the highest judgment. Because they're not holding back. They're going to tell it how it is.
No, they're pretty on.
Yeah.
I can imagine if only one pizza got 8.
Yeah.
And only 2 bottles of wine got drank.
Yeah. It's going to be...
That'd have been terrible.
It's going to be apparent. Yeah. It's going to be very clear that they did not like it. Which is cool. That's
or that nobody showed up or nobody read.
Yeah. And that's what's cool about hanging out with your guys' friend group is like the honesty and the transparency.
Yeah. We're not easy to hang out with.
Or hang out, yeah, or even get a hold of.
Even get a hold of, yeah. Tommy has to call me on restricted to get me to pick up.
Because you know if he's calling, he's wanting to hang out.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I won't pick up.
Yeah.
Because that means I don't want to hang out.
Yeah. we're not shy about it. We're not coming up with excuses of why. We're just like, no. Well, you guys. I speak for you guys, but I experience that a lot.
Ooh, and I'm hoping after this podcast I'll be doing a second one with another dude, Jake, who might be coming through. I need this guy to come on a podcast.
Is he a tattoo guy?
No, he's just an artist guy. Like wait, if I get on, I'm gonna try to get him on one tonight. But I'm calling it right now. This is gonna be like the Jug artist. Like really, like gonna take all the time and commitment I put into art stuff. He's gonna be the guy doing the art stuff. Like really, like. This guy, I hope can come on tonight. I hope he wants to.
Tonight?
Yeah, he's gonna come by at 8 because we're gonna do design stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know, but
I can't wait until
he's somebody.
Maybe we'll do like an interview.
Yes, Have you guys ever had those moments where there's just that one person you're like, oh, this guy's gonna be my friend. I'm gonna nag this guy to be my friend. I'm not even gonna like let him go that easy. You know what I'm saying? And this
Garrett,
guy,
if you're watching,
This guy is one guy that we brought in and immediately was like drawing stuff. Like it was already just coming down, making stuff. And I'm like, oh dude, we got to get you like he's going to be somebody that, you know, I think is going to be here for a while. Like in terms of like, oh, he's going to be an artist that's going to be like part of our squad, you know, but I like it because he does his own thing. He's like busy all the time, but he's somebody who I can see when I was working at Provisions, I was just showing him like, oh, dude, your stuff doesn't suck. We just need to look at it differently. You know what I mean? We just need to look. We just gotta look at it differently. Like you looking at it over here in space in 10,000 BC, but let me show you 21st century. Let me show you that your art can be looked at through this lens, and now you can do a product, and now you can sell something, and now you can do things that I'm like.
Speaking about that, do you have stickers for me?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Thank God, Joel. Putting you on the spot.
Yes.
What should the listeners listen to this week?
They should probably listen to our Mixcloud channel.
Okay, that's shameless plug. Shameless plug.
It's free to stream. It's web browser based.
But besides that, what's one album or one song that they probably haven't heard before? You can think about it. We can put the attention back on Amanda.
There's too much. There's everything I play they should listen to. That's why they should go to Mixcloud.
One album.
What album? They should probably listen to Deodato, Happy Hour.
Oh, that's a good one.
There you go. You heard it from Joel.
Deodato, Happy Hour.
So I want to hear from Amanda because she's just been sitting here.
No.
Yeah. And she's just been a fly on the wall.
Some final remarks.
Not final. I want to hear some stuff.
Like what?
Like, you're an artist. You're probably the artist of the group here.
No.
Yes.
No.
You taught art.
I did.
Not many of us have gotten paid to teach art.
I taught art to little kids.
More physical art.
Yes, definitely physical.
Yeah, drawing, painting, and all that.
I never seen Isaac pick up a pen or a piece of paper.
I know. I'm the worst kind of artist. That's the problem. Is I'm the.
I can't do stick figures. We're not going to talk about how bad we could get.
I should do like a teaching painting class thing for you guys.
We'll host it. We can host a painting class down in Santa Ana.
Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm so sorry.
No, we're gonna host a painting class.
Yeah, no,
I meant for your guys' podcast.
Yeah, that'd be
we're gonna host an event.
No.
Here's the thing. I'm saying it right now. Is like this isn't even hypothetical. If you wanted to host a painting class at Corazon Coffee, you could do it.
Yeah.
You would legit get tips. You would
like a buy-in for the
materials. You would make everyone's day coming in there. Like I'm not even like I'm not even joking. Like I'm not like. Everyone in that community, if we posted, hey, art class,
or there's a different term for that when you do like a group art thing, like people do like sip and paint or
Because there we could bring the wines in. We can literally.
And then you'd be really cracked out on coffee, like drawn. Like,
yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
How do you feel about that, babe?
I think it'd be fun. I'm definitely up for that.
Are you down?
Yeah, the only thing of course I'm committed.
Okay.
It's the materials and supplies.
How we
making it accessible to people.
This will
how do you overcome that?
You would have to figure out a project and keep it at a price point. Like, oh, this is going to be a $20 thing, and it's going to be something you can take home with you. Like, you're going to have to decide, like, is it going to be that size?
Right.
Is that worth $20 to somebody, or I don't know.
Right. Absolutely. It's just the paint.
It's the initial buy-in.
Yeah, just the initial buy-in.
I'll help with that.
Because Corazon, we could do that. I think it would actually be a really like.
She would probably help you guys too.
Yeah.
Because that is a very art forward coffee shop. When I say art forward, like painting art, like
Santa Ana was founded on art.
But exactly.
I love that.
It is an art community.
I would definitely be up for that.
You know Marlon Brando's from Santa Ana.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know either.
You guys
know he's from there.
He sounds famous. He is famous, but I don't know who he is either.
Philip K. Dick has also lived in Santa Ana.
My man.
Another writer I don't know about.
So, I want to put you on the spot because you are very talented. Way more talented than most people in that field. Because you have been practicing since very young. How old were you when you first started?
Oh, like when I was a toddler.
And why was that? Because your mom, right?
Yeah, like I grew up with like an artist family. Like my sister was an artist. My dad sculpted wood. My mom was a painter.
Yeah. So now that you are in your late 20s, how does it feel? Like do you feel like you plateaued?
I wouldn't say I plateaued. It's more of like an ebb and flow, like what you were talking about, a relationship with creativity. Because when you stop that relationship for a while, it's really hard to get back into it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys get that just from creative anything. It's even exercising as well. It's the same thing.
Yes.
It's literally a muscle that you're exercising. And so it's very difficult. So I wouldn't say it's called a plateau, but I've definitely been in a pause for a minute.
Have you been in a pause before?
Yeah, absolutely. It's truly an ebb and flow in life. Like at one point, my entire apartment was just canvases all over the place, paint all over the place. And that was a great time in my life. Fantastic. And then obviously as life progresses.
Maybe you need to attend a sip and paint class.
Perhaps, yeah.
To invigorate, like, this is easy because you don't have to think. You're just going to follow somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a bunch of that stuff.
They're going to be painting a beach, and Amanda's going to be painting like the sky with the rocket and aliens. and
Aliens.
We'll find you a brewery or something.
Perfect.
There's going to be a brewery that does that.
In the past, what were some ways that you've gotten out of the low or the whatever the low?
The ebb.
Because I don't think I personally never get out of the ebb. I just stop doing whatever the thing is.
But you don't go back into it?
No. When was the last time I went surfing with you?
Long time.
Yeah. Like I just
surfing's unique though, because that's
that one's hard to get back. But like the gym, running, a lot of the thing, yoga, a lot of the things I used to be into, I just stop and never get back into it.
I would say accessibility and convenience is the biggest factor for me personally. Like
make sure those two are super easy.
Yeah, so like making sure like my space, like if my physical space is in the right set, then my mindset is correct, and then the
feng shui.
Yes, the feng shui and the accessibility of getting all the supplies.
Would this feng shui stress you out?
I mean,
or lack thereof.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would.
But the thing,
it would.
What did you say when you first walked in?
No, it's really cool. It has like a significant amount of like.
It's lived in.
It's lived in, and it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's got like a homey feel to it. I really like it, and it's got character. You can definitely tell. Like, this is not, like, stuff that you see in a magazine or anything. That it's literally, like, pieces of you and your experience in life and all the people that have been in here, been out of here, you know what I mean?
What would you call this style? If you had to call it a style.
If
you guys, she likes interior design, too,
I do.
so I like putting her on the spot.
Damn, I wish you would have seen it at its peak.
Yeah.
It was way better. Yeah, it's been a little bit
It's only because I came in and was like, it's studio time. like you guys
and flows.
Like
very like mid-century modern. I would say you got the vinyls.
What's your favorite art piece, or what's your favorite thing? I want to pull it down for the viewers. What's the coolest thing that you see in the room?
Take your time. Take your time. We can even.
Yeah, we could talk about something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
God,
do you dye your beard, or is it naturally that dark?
It is naturally that dark.
You are blessed. You do not need TRT.
I know.
We're so blessed.
We can
right now you're like demigod. You're going for God.
No, he's Hercules asking for the keys.
You're like, look, Zeus, I'm gonna have to battle you so I could have full reign in the full haram.
Listen here.
But I will say,
I am no mortal.
but RJ, I will say,
take this mortal blood out of me.
It can ruin that comment. Oh, here, wait. Choose the art piece.
Okay, I think I do. Okay. I think I like that one up there.
Which one? The mirror light?
Oh. The suede?
Yes, the suede, and then the clock. That clock is phenomenal.
Okay, well, the suede is going to be easier to pull down, so I'll do that.
Well, don't pull down.
No, it's easy. It's
just easy. Okay. Everything here is pretty...
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll pull it down for everyone.
And if you look closely, the clock is broken, so we just have it at 4:20.
I love that. That's fantastic. Why is it broken? Can you fix it?
Probably. I gotta take it to a clock guy.
Oh, gotcha.
So this is gonna be a longer episode probably, but who cares? So this is the item she
where is it from?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Let's see.
You go hold it.
Is it yours? Is it his? Whose is it?
This was just in my grandma's house, and it's probably from like New Mexico.
Oh, I love that.
Given the style.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Like some, I like the suede.
What's a piece in here of yours that has like a lot of like meaning and value, or like a fun experience or story to it?
I mean, you can point at just about anything.
Anything?
I'd rather just have you point, and then I can just like
that one up there with
the
grids.
Oh man, that one's actually the least exciting. That's an artist from Instagram.
Oh, we love that.
Evan McCohen.
Evan McCohen. Did he live in Santa Ana as well?
No, he's just a dude camera. Ask another one.
Okay.
I want it to be interesting.
I really do like that one over there, the Michelin cable thing. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. That was from Wyatt got that for me when he went to Europe.
Really?
Yeah. He went to like Greece.
Oh, that's so cool.
What makes that even cooler is that Joel knew it was significant that Wyatt brought it back from a different country and then hung it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's not going in the closet.
Oh no, absolutely not. You have to.
That's cool.
But everything is technically from China, so it's all from out the country. It's all special.
The light is cool too.
Yeah,
got that from the vintage place.
I love.
Vintage shop.
Where's this vintage shop?
Thrift store alley in Orange.
We gotta go.
Please, yeah, if we could.
It's actually now by the Orange Circle. It's called Flashbacks Mercantile.
All right.
It's past the circle.
Okay.
I gotta put that on my phone right after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more. Third one.
Third one. Goodness. Okay.
Last one.
Okay.
Even if pick a small thing, I want you to pick a just to flex.
The thing is, Joel, the small one. If she there's one small thing in this room that is a great thing, but it's like.
Okay, I saw it earlier. It's that little one-eye guy at the bottom shelf in the corner.
Oh yes.
Let me pull it out. Hold on.
Cyclops. So what is he?
That is it's from a skate company called Toy Machine.
Okay.
And what came in there? That was like skateboard bearings.
Okay.
No way.
Yeah, you get bearings for your skateboard. It would be.
It looks like a little Pez dispenser.
Yeah, but it's a little Pez dispenser for bearings. That's cute. The bearings sucked, but I liked the plastic.
And you kept it.
Yeah.
Did you buy it?
No, I bought the bearings for a skateboard.
And then it just
but
came as the packaging.
But the packaging was cool enough to keep.
What's the significance behind this Miller Lite?
Oh, that Miller Lite
is unopened Miller Lite.
It's I forgot what year it was, but they did a reissue of that bottle.
Oh.
It's called a Steiny. So there was like a summer or something, or 6 months where they recreated that bottle.
Dude, people would pay good money just to buy this entire room.
To buy the whole lot of tchotchkes.
Yeah, but there's such good tchotchkes.
I used to live in a space that was similar to this a little bit. I liked it a lot.
So you do like this fun shui?
I do. Like I like the little layout.
The ebb and flow of your.
The ebb and flow
of your yes and no.
You know, it's never black or white. What's the small thingy that you were talking about?
Yes.
Oh, right. It's Micronesia.
Oh yeah, the Micronesia map.
What is that?
It's just a tiny.
Is that hard to pull off?
No, you get it's
like
I said, it's a tiny map.
It's just a tiny map from about some tiny islands.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you guys get it?
I got that in a book about Saipan.
Saipan?
And the Saipan's like, I don't even know.
That is cool.
Oh, it's so cute.
Why is this the most fascinating one for you?
Because it is probably the most like a Wes Anderson style thing we have in here.
But what is Wes Anderson's style?
That's so cool.
Wes Anderson style.
Let's not give him too much credit.
Pretty much, Wes Anderson is the play, the.
Yeah, this is my favorite too. I really like this.
That's so cool.
That's why I put it in the shadow box.
I love.
Wes Anderson just makes everything look like it's inside of a box. That's why it's perfect, because only things inside of a box are perfect.
This is pretty damn near perfect too. Like, look at it. Like, look how cute it. Like.
Oh yeah, no, it's literally adorable. It's perfect.
Micro map from Micronesia.
So you guys heard it here first. Don't live outside the box. Live in the box, because that's where it's perfect. And that's episode 11.
That's a good one, eh?
Live in the box. Like, I'm starting to get real mixed signals about these guys.
That was fun, guys.